In this video, I'm going to show you how you can trade without indicators. Actually, there are two types of traders that actually trade price action and traders that actually use indicators to trade. So price action is just looking at the charts with no indicators. While indicator type trader are traders that actually use indicators to know the direction of the market. But for me, I'm actually an indicator type trader, and sometimes I actually use price action. So personally, if you ask me the difference between both, I would just put it this way. Okay, let's imagine a math class. There are actually two students trying to solve, let's say, a quadratic equation, and the other student is actually using pen and paper, no calculators at all, just using pen and paper to actually solve their answers, while the other student right here is actually using calculators to also help themselves in getting the answers quick and avoiding technical errors or stuff like that. So that's what I'll actually take indicators as. Indicators are just like calculators in the forex market that can actually help you crunch up things more faster and even efficient. So there are actually things where you could easily type on a calculator, like logarithm of this. If you're using pen and paper, trying to solve a math and you're trying to get the logarithm of everything, you have to get your logarithm table, do the plus and minus, try to find the equation and every other thing. And now why I'm making this video is that some people actually love trading with price action. So if you actually go into maths and everything, they'll actually encourage you to try to solve these things on your own rather than using a calculator. But they're trying to say you should be able to do the same calculations with your head and everything, and it's just the same thing with trading. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how you can actually use price action, and in the case where you don't use any indicator, you can easily apply this. So with that being said, let's dive into the chart. So let me go down and explain the rules of price action. The major two rules of price action is resistance and support. So this is the major rule of price action. If you don't know support and you don't know resistance, you can't trade price action, because price action is actually heavily dependent on this. But in this case, you have to find those support and resistance yourself. Support is actually just like, let me say this is a floor. When you try to bounce a ball, it hits on the floor and it bounces up back. The resistance is that place where, just like a ceiling, you throw a ball. Let me use something a little bit more safe. Let me use something like you throw a pen on the ceiling, then it hits the ceiling. What will happen? The pen will actually come back. So that is exactly what it is for support and resistance. But in this case, you have to replace that ball that we use, for example, to be price. So whenever price actually comes to any of this support zone, price will actually bounce up, and whenever price gets to the resistance zone, price will actually go down. This is the foundation of price action. Very, very, very important. And the second thing you need to note when trading price action is the trend. There are actually two types of trend. There's the uptrend and there's a downtrend. So these are actually the two types of trend, and within these two types of trend, they actually have a formation. And apart from uptrend or downtrend, there's actually consolidation. Consolidation is that point where price is not moving in an uptrend, neither is it moving in a downtrend. Now let me share with you guys the rules of an uptrend. So the rules of an uptrend is price actually has a push phase and price has an exhaustion. This is the number one rule, and price actually repeat this to form a trend. Now the rule for a downtrend is something similar to the rules of an uptrend. So whenever price is in a downtrend, it has a push phase to the downside and it has a retracement to the upside. Push phase to the downside, retracement to the upside, and this actually happens over and over again. When price is in a consolidation, price actually moves up, down, up, down, up, down. Consolidations actually have their own rules when trading them. So these are the major rules of a trending market. But it doesn't just end there. Remember we said price has a push phase, retracement, push phase, retracement. But now there's actually a secret formula to this. Whenever price is actually in the push phase, the retracement usually occurs where price within the last high of the market. So this is the last high. Price is actually more to retrace to the last high of the market. And that's actually the same thing for a downtrend. In terms of a consolidation trade, you don't take a consolidation trade in a small area. You actually take a consolidation trade in a higher time frame, like a 4H time frame. So let's go on the charts and let's see how these rules actually apply on the charts. So right here, this is actually a downtrend. Now remember what we said about downtrends. There's actually a push phase, retracements. So we actually need to see that type of movement actually happening here. Again, we are not actually trading with indicators, so we have to actually find these things for ourselves. And so this is a downtrend. Let me mark that up and show you guys. So right here, I've actually fully traced out everything. So let's go down and bring this on a plain chart. We have to do a physical breakdown of this movement and structure right here. So right here, we could actually see price doing just as we expected, and price actually retraced back to this point here. You could see that again, price retraced to this point here. Price actually have a little type of retracement to this point here. You could actually see this structure actually repeating. This is another thing you have to learn if you want to trade price action. This is actually a candlestick pattern that actually represents a downtrend formation. So let's use this little uptrend here for example. And for an uptrend, remember the rules of an uptrend. We need to see a push phase, we need to see a retracement, and all those things, all those criteria. Okay, so right here we could actually see a push phase, little retracement, and in this case, just note that when you see those little red candlesticks, just know that that is actually a retracement in this point. So we could see the push phase here, little retracement, and price actually coming to retrace this point. Same thing actually happened. We had a continuation, price came to retest this zone and push up again. The same thing actually continues to repeat. So this is actually the rule and foundation of an uptrend. Now, what about when price is actually in a consolidation? So when trading price action, you should have price action trading eyeballs. What do I mean by price action trading eyeballs? I mean you should be able to detect all these things by just looking at the chart. So right here, this is a consolidation. How did I know that this is a consolidation? Because price is not actually in an uptrend and price is not in a downtrend. So if price is not in an uptrend, price is not in a downtrend, that means we're actually having a consolidation right here in the markets. So let me draw the points of support and resistance. So at this point here, we could actually see. So right here, I've actually drawn in the support and the resistance in the market. So now, how do we confirm that this is actually a valid consolidation or a valid support or resistance in the market? Well, when a support or resistance is actually valid, we'll see more constant rejections at their area. So let's look at this area for example. We could see rejections here. This is actually trying to tell you that this is a confirmed support. So we could actually see on our point here a confirmed support, Same thing here, rejections. Whenever price gets to this zone here, price actually rejects. So and we could see that same thing actually happening here. Price rejecting, and price also rejecting. So this is actually how consolidation is in the market. Price will actually be bouncing from support to resistance, from support to resistance, and that's how it actually goes. So this is where I can actually stop for now. So if you guys want a second part to this video, make sure you get this video to 50 likes. So if this video actually get 50 likes, I'll actually upload the second part of this video where I actually talk about price action in much more detailed version. So if you guys want to see a live video of me trading with indicators, make sure you check below. And if you're not yet part of the family, if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.